All the lightning, the massive wildfires that are out there, historic flooding, each weather event tormenting different parts of the U.S. and really each with the chance to create some major problems right here at home. Let's start with the crazy lightning. A couple in Wilkes County says they had a close call last week. A lightning bolt struck close to their home, sending debris around their driveway. Now, pictures showed the damage that it caused to the trees. The couple was sitting on the porch when it happened. They say they're lucky it didn't hit any closer.
It felt kind of like a bomb went off on the tree.
Yeah.
And with parts of the tree flying everywhere.
And you could feel the shock wave of it almost like rip through your body. And it shook everything. It was the most intense thing I've ever experienced.
The National Weather Service did the math. You have a 1 in 1.2 million chance of being struck by lightning, but of course it does happen. About 240 people get hit by lightning each year in the U.S. Last year, 11 people died from lightning strikes. Well, Monique, we've seen some really crazy lightning storms, in our area recently, and last night's storm produced, 100 lightning bolts?
Yeah, it's been busy. The last several times we've seen storms across the area. We've seen immense lightning with some of these storms. They've had the opportunity, though, to develop and become really tall. That's a key factor when we're talking about lightning. Now, I'm going to break down the science as best I can and as quickly as I can. But in order for thunderstorms to produce lightning, we need ice. I know it's hard to believe it's the summertime. Well, ice high up in the top of the cloud allows for a positive charge. Then at the bottom of the cloud, where we have the rain droplets, we have a negative charge. But at the ground, that's where there's more positive charges. So we get the negative and we get the positive, and opposites attract. And that's what happens when we see those lightning bolts. In fact, July and August are the most common 2 months for us to see thunderstorms. So those are the most common months for us to see lightning. You can't have thunder without lightning. You can't have lightning without thunder. They come together as a pair. And those key ingredients during the summer months allow for us to see more lightning across the area.
All right, so that was a super cool explainer. I had never seen that before with the positive and the negative. Now we're on to wildfires. They keep burning out west. Crews are now battling the largest fire of the year just south of the Oregon state line. The fire covers more than 80 square miles. Storms last night really helped that fire grow with gusty winds, pushing those flames. The fire hit a mostly uninhabited part of the state. Those who do live there, though, say the fire has devastated their area.
I'm very sad. My house is gone, all my furniture, all my clothes, shoes, coats, boots, everything's gone.
Well, crews say they have the fire at 0% contained. They are working around the clock to just try and get it under control. In Kentucky, it is widespread flooding that is causing devastation. The governor says at least 30 people have died. Hundreds remain missing. CBS took a closer look at the rescue crews and their urgent efforts to find people as more rain hits the submerged communities.
The road to recovery is a daunting one in Appalachia.
Within 10 to 12 minutes, I heard a noise and I raised the window and I seen the water and I knew I had to get out of there.
Rain-triggered flash flooding wiped out homes and infrastructure, leaving residents shattered.
I had my whole life saved him. Man, I ain't got nothing.
Governor Andy Beshear expects the number of deaths to rise in the coming days after nearly a foot of rain fell on parts of eastern Kentucky. Emergency crews have rescued thousands of people in just a matter of days, but those efforts could last weeks as first responders struggle to access damaged areas.
If things weren't hard enough on the people of this region, they're getting rain right now. There is severe storm potential today in all of the impacted areas. That is just not right.
For those who lost everything, the rebuilding process is only just beginning.
I don't know where to start, what to do, where to go. Just a lot for, I guess, people around here to take in. It's worse than anything that we've ever seen.
And it's not the first catastrophic event the state has seen in the last year. An unusual December tornado killed 80 people.
Mountain people are strong, and like I said, it's not going to be tomorrow, probably not next month, but I think everybody's going to be okay. It's just going to be a long process.
FEMA crews have staked out in eastern Kentucky. They are now trying to help with rescue and recovery efforts as well. President Biden added individual assistance to the major disaster declaration. The community certainly faces a long road to recovery. Now, something that we haven't talked about very much are the hurricanes. We're right in the thick of hurricane season. So far, the tropics, though, have been pretty quiet. Nothing has formed in about a month's time. Now, so Monique, let's talk about this because it seems really oddly quiet. And is that normal-ish?
It feels oddly quiet because the last 2 years have been crazy busy. Both 2020 and 2021 had a really fast start to the season. And so now when we're in a normal pattern where we're not really seeing too much activity in July, it feels kind of weird. But in fact, most times we don't expect tropical activity or that much early on in the season. We're quiet in the tropics now, but the main region where we generally would expect tropical activity throughout the month of July, and the reason why I'm saying July is to kind of look back at the month to see why things weren't happening, but why things could also change as we move throughout the month of August. So the origins are along the Caribbean Sea, the Gulf of Mexico, as well as the border of the East Coast. This Saharan dust has been a key limiting factor, as well as cooler ocean water, in not allowing for tropical development. But as we move through the month of August, we could expect for more activity, and that peak being September 10th, that's when things could surely enough get busy.
All right, so things are quiet at the moment, especially in the tropics, but you still need to start preparing anyway. Otherwise, you could be in an insurance bind. Ryan Arnett is a certified field inspector, division manager for Tar Heel Basement Systems. He says water, far more damaging than wind in our area, and homeowners often overlook how devastating flooding can be.
Again, this can cause water intrusion, which can cause 1 inch of water in an area can cause up to $25,000 worth of damage to a homeowner. And unfortunately, homeowners insurance normally does not cover water due to floods and storms in the area.
Did you catch that? Homeowners insurance doesn't cover it. Some companies will offer free inspections and repair estimates for any issues with your basement or crawl space that need to be addressed before a hurricane or tropical storm arrives. Bottom line, you never really do know when severe weather can hit. It can present itself in a bunch of different ways, each posing a serious risk. WFMY News 2 will be there to prepare you. WFMY News 2 at 6 is next.